Alright, now, so today we're going to be jumping back into Limerick Quest, this time to try out some different characters, different teams, to see how far we possibly can take it in this difficult quest. Now, for today's video, we are going to be using 5 different teams, all with varying levels of success. And team number 1 is going to be this team right here with Uryu, Gremmy, and also Macy. Team 2 is going to be assuming you don't have Macy, and instead, let's say you pulled on the 9th anniversary, you might have Toshiro instead. Team 3 is going to be using this team, 3 female characters that I all very much do like, but I also do want to personally try out Macy and also Nini in the same team. Team 4 is going to be a very similar team. We are using similar characters here. There isn't much leeway on what character you can bring, but in this case with Team 4, we are going to be assuming you don't have Gremmy, but maybe you have Valentine's Day Ruroka. And then Team 5 is going to be my alt account using Owetsu because I do want to use him once more and showcase him fully. So team number 1 is going to be this team right here. The build for every character to save ourselves time, because we are trying out 5 different teams here, is the exact same, right? It's always going to be a fortification pill, a 50% SP item, and 20% strong attack damage. Their links are all going to be recharge and also an additional damage effect. So either strong attack damage, full stamina damage, or more strong attack damage only when at full stamina. Every character you see here is going to have level 10 SP and level 10 focus, with the exceptions of Ruroka, as she's only SP level 10, and also Toshiro, who again is only SP level 10. For bonus abilities, every character will be having full stamina damage, and also long stride unless the character already has long stride built in, like in this case for Uryu, he has long stride through his innate skills, so instead we'd be giving them 200 SP. So with that said, let's try out team number 1 and see how far we possibly can take it. Now, the best part about this team, right, is how well it works together. For starters, Uryu himself is a Quincy character, and obviously we are now using Gremmy. And Gremmy, remember, is like one of the best supports for any Quincy in the entire game. And I kind of forgot about that until yesterday, basically. Because, unfortunately, we haven't had any Quincy's, right? You would have thought we would have got a bunch of Quincy's, but nah, unfortunately that's not the case. So I kind of forgot that Gremmy actually does buff Quincy's, more so Uryu in particular, right? So Uryu's able to get 20% strong attack damage, 30% more damage to enemies inflicted with weakening, and he also is getting the recharge in between stages thanks to someone like Macy. Now in this case, I've taken some burn damage, but lucky for us, he can get himself back up to full stamina with ease. So now we're about to activate our gauge. So let's just trap the enemies in the corner if possible. There we go. SA1 into the 3, then 2, and look at that, very easily done. Going into Gremmy, let SA1 upwards. And I personally like the SA2 sideways. Then SA3, you kind of want to try and get all of them trapped in the same place. I'm going to use my SA1. Then 2. Then grab the box down here. And it's going to recharge all our strong attacks. Ideally, going into the next rotation, you want to have your SA3 ready, right? Now for Macy, trap them all in the corner. It is RNG dependent whether you get a status proc or not. But it's best to stay in the top left, top right. That way you can make them all get hit by the vortex more so. And I think we could actually grab the box there to save ourselves some time. Now in this case, I kind of did what I wasn't supposed to do. I used my SA1 and 2. But we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Didn't need to use that many strong attacks there, but we're looking good on time, to be fair. That's SA3. Then 2. Okay, let's SA1. And then up here, if we position it correctly, we should be able to take out both waves like that, for example. This is probably the most awkward stage for someone like Gremmy. Let's SA3. There we go. Still looking good thus far. Looking very similar to my 5-5 team, which at 5 out of 5, my team was able to get to stage 28, and it is possible for them to get upwards to stage 30. Unfortunately, I took a hit here. We can easily get back up to full stamina. Uryu is quite self-sufficient, luckily. And he actually allows your team to take damage too. Alright. Let's go down there. Because yeah, if your team takes damage, let's use the SA3 real quick. Uryu can potentially get them back up to full stamina. Let's SA3, then 2. And I feel like I want to EX now. Because that's going to give Macy the stat boost, right? Oh, let's back down. And that will allow Macy to clear her stage faster. And again, our SA3 is ready to go. So let's SA1. Then 2. Then Sobom now. They're all in place. Follow up with the SA3. And to be fair, our team is so good, you might not be able... You might want to not even use the Sobom. You might be able to save that for a later stage. But if your goal is to get 25... Maybe using the Sobom there is better to do. SA3. Looking good on time thus far. SA2. Into the 3. SA1. SA3 and then 2. Damage is starting to fall a tad bit, but that's fine. And I think our gauge is looking good too, because going into the next stage with Uryu, I think, is the poise stage, right? And the gauge is about to activate, so that's going to be really, really good. Yeah, we are looking really good on time right now. So you can potentially get even further than 25 if you really want to. But if your goal is just to get 25, maybe using a Summon Macy would be the best thing to do. Alright, here we go. So SA1 into the 2. Activate the gauge with a 3. And now we have 1 minute to do as much damage as possible. I'm kind of luring them all about the map, which isn't what you want to do. Ideally, you want to get them in the corner. That way you can kind of damage all of them. Don't really have much time to use my normal attack string here. Unfortunately, took a hit, but we're back up to full stamina. Gauge is back. SA2 there. There we go. So, very easy team to potentially get into stage 25 if you don't own a wetsuit. And we might even get further than this. If we... can we do enough damage? I'm not too sure. But again, you might want to save your summon for like the next stage or something. We should be able to get into stage 26. Use our normal attacks. 11 seconds to go. But Granny is just so insane. Absolutely insane. There we go. So yeah, maybe using your summon on stage 20... or the stage that we had to use Macy in was probably the best play to do there. But yeah, really good team. Really good team. Very surprising this team can get to 26. But is it surprising? I don't know. I mean, we're using Uryu, who's getting all the damage bonuses. Gremmy is just Gremmy, right? He's just doing Gremmy things. And then Macy, obviously, is a great character in slot 3 and also does give the recharge. So, time-wise, we were looking actually very good. Again, we did decide to use our summon in stage 18. If you can clear fast without having to use your summon on stage 18, you might want to save that for 27. And in that way, you might be able to break into stage 30. Definitely can do that if you are using this team at max transcendence. Again, I was able to get to stage 28 with this team. And since stage 27 is the last hurdle, you know, any extra second you can save is the closer you are to getting to stage 30. So this team can definitely get to stage 30. I'll be trying that my own time. So there you go. Very first team, very successful. Definitely worth trying if you possibly can. But now let's try that team again, this time without Macy. And it's going to be a tad bit awkward because now we have to be careful where we use our strong attacks. More so with Uryu, right? But then again, Tosho's going to be really good here, right? Going to be a very consistent character with that status proc. And Macy can be a bit awkward to play with, I will be honest. But I've kind of perfected it. I've been fine with using her, whether she's max transcendent or 1-5. Alright, let's go up here. SA2. Every placement is going to matter with these character strong attacks. Do you want to use the SA3? Might as well. Might as well. I remember, we also do get the EX attack too. Right, let's let them attack. SA3. 2, then a 1. Do that even with the lack of recharge in between stages. We are using a gauge card, and that's honestly fine as is. There we go. So good on the first rotation. That's SA1 upwards. Then SA2 sideways. Lucky for us, we never have to worry about the status procs on Grammy. He always comes through with that. And I think did I grab the box? I might have missed it, but it's fine. We only need our SA3 ready going into Grammy's next stage. Alright. Let's grab that box. Hopefully inflict all of them with freeze. I think one enemy got out. I guess I'll save my EX attack for the next stage. Yeah, look at that. One enemy, man, did not want to get frozen. Luckily, he got frozen there. Had to use a bit of extra strong attacks, but I think we're still good on time right now. SA2. There we go. Again, Grammy. Most satisfying stage right there to use the SA3. Can we get both ways? I think you can possibly get both ways there with one strong attack, but I'm kind of messing up there. Alright, let's all get close. An SA3. Do I want to activate the gauge? No, I do not. I'm glad we didn't. Alright, best thing to do here is try and get close. Does the SA2 hit? It hit most of them. 2 enemies still alive. That's fine. Alright, SA1. We'll activate the SA3 there. Not too bad. And then going here. I'm not sure who I want to sub him, to be honest. Maybe Uryu. I mean, damage right now is looking good. SA2. Down with a 1. Didn't want to get burnt there. Just in time, too, because our gauge is about to come back when we actually use our next strong attack. Kind of bad positioning down the SA1, I will be honest. Let's SA3. And then might as well use our EX attack. That's going to give us the boost for Toshiro to clear stage faster without needing to use our Soul Bomb. Okay. So in this case, let's SA2, then a 1. And then let's place our EX. And just let them all walk into it and get frozen. There we go. SP boosters were off, but that's fine. We're going to keep ourselves away so they don't lunge into us. But if they do, they should all still be relatively close. There we go. Wait, one enemy's left alive? There we go. Again, another good team, right? This is working. This is working. That's SA3. Probably for the most part, going to get a very similar score. I think the Macy team has better potential, but I think it really comes down to how many dupes you have invested into your characters. Like, whether it's worth bringing Macy or Toshiro, really comes down to who's got more dupes in. I think Toshiro, for the most part, would be more efficient for most players. And we still have our summon, remember that, right? Okay. That's SA3. SA1. That enemy was tanky for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. Use our no attacks. Damage numbers have started to fall off heavily on this stage. I'm not sure what went wrong there. But going in at 2 stage at 25. Can we actually clear it? I'm not too sure. Let's activate the gauge. Unfortunately, I lost my full stamina. Activate the gauge. Use our soul bomb. 1, 2, 3. I think this team could definitely get into 25. I feel like I maybe made some mistakes along the way. Very close though. Look at that. Oh, yeah, look, okay. We're basically calling that a stage 25, right? We actually did kill the enemies there. We could have made it closer than that. Any improvement along the way would make that a lot better. I'm not sure when you want to soul bomb with this particular team. I feel like soul bombing stage 25 is definitely the play there. But yeah, Toshiro performed relatively well. As expected, his insane levels of freeze. He's getting that 2 times range damage. This team is definitely capable of getting to stage 25. Any extra dupes to the carriage you have, even better. And given the fact that we actually killed all the enemies there, we just had to get into the next stage. Maybe if I positioned myself a tad bit better, we would have actually made it to stage 25. So I'd like to think if you want to replicate this team, you could potentially improve upon it. Almost to Yachi though. How is Yachi going to perform? I think she'll be relatively fine. We are using Macy with her now just to get that extra bit of support, right? And Nini, I'm not going to lie, this is the first time I've used her in this quest. So I'm not really sure the exact strong attack layout. So I will preface that right from the get-go. But I think we'll be relatively fine, right? Nice to know we can stand whatever we want to with Yachiru, because we are immune to every set summon. This is where it's a bit awkward. It was kind of like this last time they wanted us to use Macy. But like, there was just way too many distance from the characters. And Macy doesn't have any beams to make up for that. I think I just called her Macy. I mean Nini. Right, back down. SA2. At this point, I believe we do have our max damage potential with the Rampage. Okay. It is a bit awkward. It is a bit awkward, but it's expected, right? We don't have that killer bonus. And that makes a big difference. I had to use a bit too many strong attacks there, but we can work with that. Alright, so for Nini, how do we want to tackle this? I need to save the soul bomb. Like now, for example. Let's do that. Use the SA2. Burn and Weakening is, again, a great combo. Looking good on Nini right there. Hopefully inflict a Star Summon here. Doesn't seem like it. That's okay. I definitely do prefer Gremmy in slot 2. Right, SA2, then 3. Back down, grab the box. Let them lunge into the corner if they want to lunge at us. Dodge that. That was a close one. There we go. Macy coming through. Right, first rotation. Definitely slower when compared to the first team, or first two teams. But we are using worse characters here. Obviously, Gremmy is a much better character overall than Nini. And, I mean, obviously, Yachiru is better than Oryu, but Oryu just has the advantage here. Okay. That's SA1. Got to use a Nat String here. Damage output's low when the gate is inactive. Okay, I think our goal is just to get into 20. If we can get to 20 with this team, that's honestly perfectly fine. Alright, that was good. Alright, going back into Yachiru. So, do I want to use my Summon on her stage? I'm really not too sure. I kind of don't want to use my Summon in my run because my Yachiru does have... She's not maximum standing. We have removed her slots, but she is 5'5", so her Summon does hit harder. Right, get him into that corner. We want to make sure we don't take any damage with Yachiru. Luckily dodging all these attacks. Okay, unfortunately now taking a hit. Which does suck. Yachiru's not it. I'm not going to lie. Definitely, I mean, it's worth trying out this team again. With Nini, but without Yachiru. You really need that killer damage. And unfortunately, because we've taken a hit, we've lost quite a bit of extra damage here. Too many strong attacks having to use here. Right, they're weakened now. We missed. Damn, this is such a bad run. Maybe use your Summon, but like Yachiru's Summon doesn't have weakened defense, right? So it doesn't do anything crazy. I kind of want to use my Summon on Nini. Because at least she plays weakened defense, and the burn's going to absolutely breeze through them, like you can see there. Yeah, so Nini's stage was really good. Let's SA3 now. Again, keep them in the corner. Pay attention if one enemy is not weakened. There's potential with this team, though, because look at this. We're about to get into stage 18. Or 19. And then with that, we basically one-shot these enemies, right? Or two-shot, I guess, for Yachiru. So this team need to break into 20. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it in this particular run. But I think we messed up big time with Yachiru getting hit. So there's definitely potential with this team. I feel like I made a mistake during Yachiru's part, and we definitely could have got into stage 20, especially given the fact that, again, we also did clear Macy's stage. We just needed that extra 20 seconds even to break into stage 20. So if you are trying this team, I would say perfect the Yachiru part. If you don't take a hit, you should be fine. And again, I don't want to use Uryu in slot 1 for every single team. But if you have Uryu, definitely worth using him, right? In that case, you'd probably easily get into stage 24. Having said that, we are now back into using Uryu in slot 1. It just feels right. It's the best character. There's no other good character. Great character, more so, than Uetsu and also Uryu, right? And I don't feel bad using Uryu for these videos because he is quite widely available. He's been in like 2-year anniversary banners. And he's also available in the selector ticket on the Brave Battle one. So chances are you have him. Chances are you have him maximum extended. If you do, you almost didn't need Uetsu. And in regards to Ruika, right, we're now using her in replacement for Gremmy. And Ruika's surprisingly been a lot more useful than I thought she would be. I mean, I know she was a Limit Breaker character. So I was expecting she'd be good in Limit Breaker, but I feel like I've been using her more than like other Limit Breaker characters. Alright, let's SA1. And remember, one benefit with Ruika is that she does give your team a 20% strong attack damage buff. So in Uryu, we're kind of performing worse than what we were like with Gremmy. But at least we do get that 20% side buff, right? And it also means Macy gets it now too. Let's SA free, back up, use our 1. Grab that box. Did we grab it? I don't think we did. We'll grab it now though. Lucky for us too, these enemies are not that annoying. They all they don't lunge forward. I think with the poised enemies that sometimes it can be just bad enemies. Like with the no affiliation one, those no affiliation mobs can just like lunge out of the way. Same with Mace these days, right? Like here for example. So let's use our 2. That was a terrible usage of the 2. I will be honest. We actually paralyzed most of them there. Let's grab that. Bring them up here. 2 again. Then 3. There we go. A bit longer. I think I kind of made some mistakes there with my positioning, but not too bad. Gauge is going to activate in the next run. Alright, so in this case, I used my SA3 when I shouldn't have. Okay, you want to ideally have an SA3 saved for this particular stage. But 2 strong attacks, 1 and 2 is enough for that stage. Was a bit slower in that stage, but not too bad. The question is, though, who do I want to use my summon? I think I want to use it on Ruruka. She has weak in defense, so it won't be too bad. Let's SA2. Bit slow here. And that's fine. SA2. Then SA3. Still doing good with Macy. Alright, so this can be the big stage. Let's hope we make no mistakes here. Let's use our normal attack string to build up the gauge. Let them all lunge into the corner. Again, keep them around here. I think it's the best thing to do. There we go. Good damage there. SA3 is back already. SA1. Couple night hits. And there we go. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Looking quite good on time now. Let's SA3. Right here. Keep him in this corner. I'm going to use my summon when the SP boost wears off, like now, for example. Luckily, didn't get hit. That's happened before. Maybe didn't take full advantage of the weakened defense. I mean, it's still active, to be fair. There we go. SP boost is back. And 1 minute to go. We're looking good here. SA2. And then 3. Now we just have to run RNG. Can we get the status procs? Yes, we can on most of them. Okay, it's always just one enemy. They get paralyzed now. That's good. Alright. And then SA2 should be the last attack. There we go. 45 seconds to go. So it looks like at the very least we are making it into stage 20. I'm going to use a few extra strong attacks there. That's fine. SA3. So for the most part, it looks like Macy and Odium are just a really good combo. Okay, if you don't have Macy, you can replace Macy with Tosha, right? But it looks like Ruruka is going to be a good replacement for Grammy. And that should allow you to at the very least get into hopefully stage 24. Made a mistake there. We might have ruined the run a tad bit. Can we get into the next? Oh, Broski knocked me out. So that's where we're going to call it quits with this team. But we could have made it into 23 and therefore would have got into 24. Therefore would have got into 25. But at the very least, this team was able to get all the rewards, right? So again, Macy and Odi just being a power couple right now. Are we going to ship them? I'm not too sure. But again, you can replace Macy with Hollow Bankai Toshiro. If we replaced Ruruka with Nini like we did on our last team, we also would have got at least into 22. So using Uryu in slot 1 really does open up the doors to use other characters in slot 2 and 3. You know, when we used Yachu in slot 1, granted I didn't do the best run, I will be honest, but we weren't quite able to make it into 20. But you definitely can. But this team definitely seems more straightforward, nice and easily done. Now let's try out our last team. Alrighty then, so now, final team, let's try out the God Blade himself, Uetsu Namaya. If you saw my character showcase, he's absolutely insane. We briefly showed his performance in Limit Breaker, but didn't showcase a full run. So honestly, I might have been better off using Toshiro than Macy on this account, because my Toshiro is actually more duped out than Macy. But Uetsu, man, What a smooth and fun character to play with, I'll be honest. Easily one of my favorite characters of the year thus far. Would have actually loved if he was an Annie character. Like, he's that insane. I think many people are wrong about him. Like, on paper, people just instantly discredited the character because he can't inflict stat elements. But if you play with him, you'll know like, that does not matter. It really does not matter. In a way, it makes him better. Because his damage output is just super consistent. It's SA3. And again, like I mentioned in the showcase too, I think the best part about Aaroniero is that it's Aaroniero. You want him to be a cool character. You want him to be powerful, and it's exactly what he is. Rightio. So SP Boost needs to come back. There we go. Now this team can easily get into 25, but I'm not sure I can get further than that. Maybe my links aren't as good. But we are using my ult account for this, right? Because remember, I don't have Aaroniero in my main. Gonna keep all the enemies in the corner. Best chance to inflict my status element. 2 more attacks should be enough. There we go. First rotation, 1 minute and 35 seconds. Not too bad. Very similar to my other teams. In this case, we kind of made a mistake there since my SA3 was not ready. Very slow run right here. Damn. That kind of ruins it a bit. I mean, it's fine. We should have plenty of time to spare. Question is, though, who do I want to use my soul bomb with? Probably Macy. Because Gremmy clears fast as is. Aaroniero to Aaroniero. There we go. That was great. Does that kill? I'm in him. Bit more damage here. Alright, there we go. Let's not get poisoned, please. Luckily. I feel like I could have got poisoned there. Luckily, it didn't happen. With this, then we have to be a bit careful because we don't have Uryu's heals to, you know, get us back up to full stamina. Right, going into stage 16. Do I want to use my EX attack? I don't think so. I don't think we need to either. Right, there we go. SA3. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's use the SA1 to build the gauge. Missed my SA2 there. But we're going to go ahead and use the EX attack on our next stage. Or in this next wave, more so. Right, SA3. Into the 2. EX. That's going to buff our Meiji stats and also debuff the enemies. SA2. I kind of messed up there. I just used my SA3. Did not need to do that. We're going to regret doing that in our next run. Right, the question is, when do I want to use my soul bomb? Or do I even need to? I want to wait for the SP boost to wear off. Guess we can use it there. I should have maybe used it a lot earlier. But we don't really need to use our summon on Aaroniero stage. There we go. We'll save the EX attack for Aaroniero on the poison enemies. More so just to build up the gauge. Yeah, see that? Look how awkward that stage was because we didn't save our SA3. Alright. SA1. Into the 3. That's probably like the most satisfying. You don't have to like look left or right. Literally just use your SA1 and then 3. In this case, that's SA3 here. Again, this is my old account, so my accessories aren't nearly as good as my main. But our goal is just to get into 24. Or 25. Alright, SA1. Gonna have to use an extra strong attack here. But we don't mind doing that. Alright, 30 seconds to go. Can we do it? Let's find out. No, we cannot. I'm gonna end it there. I'm not even gonna bother. But we can clear stage 25. Let me just show the clip of me doing it in my previous run, right? If you have a good enough account and you have good accessories and also links built up with maybe better investment on your second and third character, with Aaroniero, you can also very easily get into stage 30 Owetsu's damage output is super high that you never have to use your Soul Bomb on his particular stage, which kind of makes me think Bombardment on this character was kind of wasted because you never really need to use this Soul Bomb. The weakened defense honestly is enough for him to do that extra bit of damage after using the Soul Bomb for you to still want to use said Soul Bomb. And even in Guild Quest, for example, you can't nuke through stages, so Bombardment is kind of wasted, I will be honest. But nonetheless, you can easily get into stage 24, 25 with Owetsu in your team, especially if you have a good second and third character. And there you go. That's the video for today, trying out some other characters, other teams. The main takeaway is use Uryu. If you have Uryu, go ahead and use them. You do not need to pull for Owetsu. Uryu is honestly good enough. Owetsu is a character that's great as is. I think he's an amazing character. Only pull for him if you want him. You do not need to pull for him if you think you need to get him for GQ on Limit Breaker scores, right? Obviously, he's a great character right now in Limit Breaker. He's going to be good in the upcoming Guild Quest, especially with the poised enemies. But how good will he be after this month? We're going to have to find out. Grimmy, again, solidifying himself as like an amazing character. Whenever we can bring a holo character, you're going to want to bring Grimmy, right? He's absolutely amazing. And then Macy, nice to finally get a use of her. But again, she's replaceable with the newly released Holo Bankai Toshiro. Either way, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know where you guys did get to. What team did you use? I'm curious to know. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.